Happy Wednesday, everybody. How are you doing today? I didn't get many pictures from you guys yesterday. I really would like to see what's going on in your life. Thank you to those of you that did send me something. I really like seeing how things are going. Remember, if you have questions, if something doesn't make sense, just make sure that you let me know. I'm here to help. I want to help you guys as much as I can. The good thing is, today's work actually requires you to send me a picture. Ha ha! So now I'm going to see what's going on. The first thing that I want to talk about is I have made a couple of suggestions on Instagram and am actually going to be talking about another suggestion later that does involve sometimes doing some cooking. Cooking is great because you have to follow a recipe, so that involves math. Sometimes you're going to double the recipe or have the recipe. I think it's a great idea. So that's awesome, but if you are going to be cooking, please make sure that number one, you have your parents' permission. Number two, that they're watching you, that they're with you, okay? If it involves knives, if it involves a stovetop, if it involves the oven, I really don't want any accidents to happen, so I want to make sure that you guys are, in fact, getting your parents to help you or that you have their permission if that's what you've decided that you're going to do for the day. Got it? So with that being said, how about on Friday, we try to have breakfast together. Obviously we can't be together, but maybe we can all have breakfast at the same time and we can all have the same thing. I'm thinking some healthy oatmeal. Oatmeal is a great option because I think everyone in the class can eat it as long as you get gluten-free oats. And there's lots that we can do to make it a really healthy option. So if that's something that interests you, you don't have to do it, but if you'd like to, I think it would be a lot of fun. So Friday morning, you're going to need some oats, bananas, egg whites, or if you don't have egg whites, just a regular egg is going to be fine. And then have some really neat toppings that you can add, some healthy toppings. Things that I include are chia seeds, hemp hearts, unsweetened coconut, different nuts, different nut butters like peanut butter or almond butter, anything like that. And we can make some delicious oatmeal together. Maple syrup or honey, those are also some good things. Double check and see if you've got those ingredients. And if you do, then great. On Friday we'll have breakfast together. And if you don't, maybe you've got some time between now and then where you can go get some groceries. But if not, don't worry about it. You can make it next week or another time. It's all good either way. How are your routines going? I haven't seen very many of your routines yet, so I'm just curious if you're following the same routine that I'm doing. That sounds great. If you have a different routine, I'd still love to see it. I'd love to see what you and your family came up with. So send it my way. Okay, once again, 4 things that we're going to get done. So number 1, we're going to work on writing. Monday, you made an idea web. Tuesday, yesterday, you started to work on that piece of writing, turn it into a piece of writing. You probably finished your first draft. If you're not done your first draft, use today to get it finished. If you are done your first draft, now it's time to do the revising, to go in and do the editing. So what can you do to make your writing better? Add a little bit more detail to each sentence. We've practiced this many times. That's a great way of adding to your ideas. Use adjectives or verbs, right? Those describing words or those really exciting action words. Use them to make your writing even better. I want you to check. Have you answered the 5 W questions? Have you answered who, what, when, where, why in your writing? That's something that you can do to make your writing even better. Also, don't forget about your 5 senses. What are you hearing? What are you seeing? What are you smelling, tasting? What do you feel? All of those things are going to help your writing and enhance it and make it even better. So go through your writing today. See what you do have and what you don't have and add to it. At the end of the day today, continue to save it as a draft so that if there's anything else that you want to work on in your writing, you can as the week goes by. And we're not going to post anything until tomorrow. So Thursday or Friday is the day that I actually want to see your writing. As always, if you have any questions about writing, let me know. I can do my best to help you out. But I think that you guys are doing a pretty good job so far. It sounds like you guys are well on your way to getting a good piece of writing ready for Friday. Number 2, back to reading. I want you reading every day. Read to your pet. That sounds like a lot of fun. My cat is sleeping on the couch right now. I'm thinking if I tried to read to her, she might claw at me. I might try it. We'll see. Number 3, getting back to math. Okay, so yesterday I heard there were 4 problems. Some of you did okay with them. Some of you found them difficult. Some people felt a little bit overwhelmed by them. So no new math problems today. We're just going to stick with those 4 that we had yesterday. If you've got them done, great. If you haven't gotten to them all yet, maybe give them more of a try today. If you're feeling uncomfortable finishing them, that's also okay. Work on them if you want to, work on them if you can, but don't worry too much about it. The bigger thing that I want you to work on today is work on multiplication. Take those flashcards that you made, continue to practice with them, see how you're doing with multiplication. If you're looking for some math activities to do, I can suggest doing some cooking and baking with your family. I've suggested it a couple of times now, but go ahead and do that because measuring is math. Especially, like I said earlier, if you have to double the recipe to make it bigger for your family, or if you have to halve the recipe because you're only making it for yourself. That's a great way to get some extra math practice in. Also play some board games, especially if there's math involved. Monopoly, anybody? We've kind of done that in class a few times, so if you have a copy of it at home, yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you have it at home, go ahead and play with your family today. It's a great game to do. You get to socialize, hang out as a family. Sounds like a lot of fun. Number 4, if you don't get to anything else today, this is what I would really like you to do. I want you to go outside, go for a walk, and I want you to observe everything going on around you. Watch, look, see what you might find interesting. If something jumps out at you and you think, wow, when you see it, something that's interesting, it tells you that you're curious about it. I want you to observe and wonder why you're curious about that thing. So I want you to include 3 things that you notice about that object and 3 things that you wonder about that object. So, for example, I took this picture over the weekend of some ice that froze around a tree trunk and then the river receded. So 3 things that I noticed. The first, obviously, I noticed the break in the ice between the ice on the tree and the ground below it. I also noticed that it looks like the ice is growing off of the tree. It almost looks like mushrooms growing out the side of the bark. And I also noticed that the river is now much lower than it was in the fall. As for 3 things that I'm wondering, I wonder how the ice stays in this spot when the water clearly retreated over the fall. Why is it that the water stays in the same place? I'm also wondering if there's any frozen ice inside the trunk of the tree. Is there any ice that's frozen inside the tree itself? And I wonder if this is going to have any effect on that tree when spring arrives. Finally, I'm also wondering if the river has gaps in the ice like we're seeing between the tree and the ground right now. I wonder if the ice froze differently this year because we had so much rain in the fall. So obviously, I'm really interested in this wow object that you might find outside. Whatever it might be, I want you to take a picture of it. I want you to send it to me, and I want you to include the 3 things that you noticed and the 3 things that you're wondering about it. Send it to me. I'd love to see what you came up with. Just like yesterday, let's see what kind of unique angles you might be able to get. Who can take the most creative photo? Some really great photos. If you don't include any people in your pictures or any faces, I'll put them on our Instagram page so that you can check out what everyone else in class was doing. I'd love to see some more. So send them to me because I'm curious as to what's going on in your neighborhood. As always, have a great day. Don't worry about getting everything done. I know that I'm providing lots for you guys every day. I have some families that are saying, send me lots of things to do, and I have other families who are saying, please stop sending me things to do. So do what you can, but don't worry about finishing everything. I'm most curious about your pictures. I would really like to see something like that. Take care of yourselves, take care of your family, be safe, be healthy, have a great day. I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. See you soon.